Hey, how's it going? I'm doing a little reply video to this other video I saw. Some Canadian dude named Freedom Fighter Guy. He's uploaded a couple videos that, I think just completely misrepresent, anything that, Chris here says, and you just see a ton of that lately. He's going on saying that he hates the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. Well, let's read what he included in his own video here. These were a couple comments from truthocracy. Let's just run down them real quick. It says, well, the Constitution, this is from him. The Constitution and Bill of Rights, good or bad for who? Free speech is good for the sheep, us, and bad for the wolf, the illuminati. The Constitution is the supreme law of the land, which it is, which means to constitute a statute, to fix and set up, which was made by the elite for the people. In other words, it was made by the slave owners for the slaves they own. Bill of Rights is a bull of rights, one-sided, not left and right of equality, but right, one-sided. He's totally right. He is exactly right about what the Constitution is. The second comment that this guy apparently had so much trouble with. This is why we have liberties and not freedoms. A parent gives a child liberty, not freedom. Why do you think we have a president? Who chooses a president? Do the workers in a company get to choose who their president or boss is? No, the owner does. Not the slaves of the company. Not the workers of the company. They never choose who the incoming board of directors is. They make the sheep think they have a choice when the truth is they do not choose anything. It's all just fake perception of choice. Now, I've done some videos on this, going back, almost a year ago to the Ron Paul videos that I was doing. And this is exactly the point I'm trying to make. It's all, this whole thing, the people of the country do not choose a president. The people who own the country do. Now, even just going back to 1933 with the Emergency Banking Act, which declared the U.S. as a bankrupt corporation in receivership, we can see that the people are not choosing who is running the corporation for them or the board of directors. It's just not happening. I don't know why guys like this freedom fighter guy who is he thinks he's great, highly enlightened and all this stuff. He goes on in this video, and I'm not even going to cover it. All of a sudden, he jumps from this to what truthocracy, as he calls him, says. He jumps into this to all kinds of religious stuff, now. Well, now he's trying to, shut everybody up and, deny them their speech and all this, which is just nonsense. I don't even know if this guy's real or not. I'm having a hard time believing anybody could actually be this dumb. But just back to what he's saying here about the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. Now people are going to look at this and go, what does he mean it's a bull? A bull is not a bill. Well, yeah, it is. And if you go back to the 1300s, look where we're at. Uniform Commercial Code. The Vatican Commercial Code is what we're all under. That's the supreme law of the land. And the Vatican with their papal bulls, you guys can look all this stuff up. You guys can look it up. You guys can look at these various papal bulls where they looked out across the land. And right now the Vatican, they own every square inch of real estate in the world. They own all your property. They own all your possessions down to your very soul. They just made claims to it. That's what a bull is, or a bill. They've taken these, and this was back in the 1300s through the 1500s. They've made all these papal bulls from the Vatican, which control everything that we do. It's commercial code. It's maritime trade. This guy's got such a big, first you have to be at step one, before you can be at higher steps in understanding this. Our election system, we don't choose. You know, it's not like these guys just came out of the blue and suddenly we got choices for presidents. You know, I'm sorry, but it does not work that way. It just doesn't. Anybody, you know, and it's why I've lost all kinds of friends here, you know, and they hold up a constitution. We got to get Ron Paul in there. Well, he's not going to be in there if the bankers who own the country and own the world do not want him in there. Voting law. We'll just take that for a second. What this guy thinks it's all about our choice in all this. Voting law. In the United States, any vote that's conducted in secret holds no weight of authority, holds no legitimacy. How do we know that? How do we know that for a fact? Well, we look at our Congress. Where do they vote? They vote out in the open. Where do you vote? You go into a little private voting booth. And that's for your security, right? It's not for your security. They've had this set up and it's right under everybody's noses. They've had this set up and your vote doesn't count. So why do we never hear anything? Why is it when we hear about like some voting fraud? Well, I mean, these amount of people voted and now we know that the results are not the same because it was never legitimate to begin with. Congress goes, where does Congress go and vote? They all vote out in the open. They have an issue up there. They all vote. They're all in chambers and they all vote. Their votes do count. Our votes do not count. I know this is pretty, you know, I know people don't want to hear it. People don't want to hear that you have no say-so in what goes on. But that's the level of the illusion that they're setting up for us. You know, and now this guy here, Freedom Fighter Guy, he goes on about he's convinced that nobody except him knows about the so-called New World Order, which is not new. It's the same old world order. I mean, the Vatican runs it. The popes run it. The queens, you know. I mean, the Pope is the king of the child molesters of the world. The queen is the head pirate of the world. But to think that, yeah, we're going to change it from within our system with an election. First of all, the elections are illegitimate. They don't even count in the first place because you voted in private. Now, you know, I think I'll do the problem is with a lot of this stuff, it's going to take forever to even prove a little bit of this. I'm going to have to break out 10 volumes of books to prove that your vote is illegitimate and does not count. Any vote that's ever been held in this country where you went into a voting booth, it's never counted. So people don't understand how is it that we get these clowns in there? Well, somebody else picked them. The employees of the company, the employees of the bankrupt corporation don't pick them. Somebody else does. Which, you know, everybody beats their head against the wall. Why can't we get somebody in there that wants to help us? Well, that's not what the system's designed for. Sorry. But that's absolutely true. Now, this guy up in Canada is saying that what truthocracy, as he calls him, said was, well, that's just a lie, and he ought to move out of the country or something, which was hilarious in itself because I replied back to him. He said, well, you ought to move out of the country to a fascist country. Well, what does he think? What does he think that this country is? Does he GM, the banks? What is a fascist state? Well, that's where the government controls the corporations and the banks and everything else, and they totally do here. I mean, these banks run short of money, print whatever they want. They run the show. Oh, no, it's not fascist. I mean, this guy, I don't even think he's real, like I was saying before. He can't be. Nobody could be this stupid as this guy is. But I just wanted to knock out a quick video in support of Chris, and because what he says in these two comments is exactly right. If you can read those two comments and you can understand what he's saying, yeah, you understand what's going on. Other than that, this kid and a whole lot of other people out there are missing the forest through the trees. Everybody's saying they're so awake and all this. Oh, yeah, we're totally awake. You know, but they're not getting even the basics of a lot of this stuff. That's a lot of the reality that's going on. Not getting any of it. And he wants to continue on about, oh, well, you shouldn't hurt people's feelings about their religions. Oh, what religions? What? The Christians? I mean, all the Christian religions have been started by Freemasons. Joseph Smith. I mean, hell, the Mormon religion is one of the richest religions in the world, and it was started by Joseph Smith, who found some stones and a little gold reading device. So he started up a new religion. And these asshat black Hebrew people, you know, I just love investigating this stuff. You go to all their channels, and they got this Lion of the Sun stuff up, this Lion of Judah stuff going on, and how they dress and everything and how they talk. Well, they come from, their basis is Rastafaria, which was also started by Freemasons in Ethiopia. As a matter of fact, it was started by Robert Bruce, descendant of what's his name? James Bruce. He came from Robert the Bruce. It's 33-degree Freemason, which started all this. So you got all these black people who now think that, oh yeah, man, we got the real, you know, religion of the black people. Started by a white guy. Started by a white Freemason. Same as all the other ones. And that's what, see, that's what people do. Just like black belts in martial arts. You know what black belts in Freemasonry do? They go around and start religions in the world for control. That's exactly right. Now, once you become a black belt in a martial art, well, how do you get higher levels of belts? Well, that's when you went and you started a school, and you went and you know, or did, you know, went out and held seminars, and you further your agenda. But you're out working in the world. See, you're not just in a class. Once you become a black belt, then you go out. And that's what all these religions in the world were started by. Or most of them. I mean, the very old Hindus and all that obviously were started by Freemasons, but most of the ones you see in America today, all the Christian religions, they're all started by Freemasons. So, you know, so please don't tell me about how you're, oh, I'm just free to start. Oh, including Luciferianism and Satanism. It was all started by all these people, Helena Blavatsky and all that. We're all heavily involved in Freemasonry. So when you want to accuse somebody of being a Satanist or something, even Satanists don't believe in Satan. Come on. For crying out loud. Even they don't believe in that. So they're all under the same control system. They're all started by Freemasons. They're all the so-called New World Order. But hey, don't believe me. Just keep, you know, keep believing whatever. To this guy, Freedom Fighter dude, you know, I mean, I don't get your whole thing with, well, you got to be in camouflage and all this stuff because you're so heavily wanted by those in the know. Give me a break. Anyway, I figured I'd upload this video. I'll see if he, you know, takes it as a reply. We'll see. But I wanted to stick with his video comment, with his purpose of his video, and clear that up, because what Chris says there in his comments is exactly right. And sorry if you don't get it, but it is true. Anyway, I'll cut this quick here. It's already way long. So thanks anyway, and I'm going to upload this. We'll talk to you later. Bye.